Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Eddie. So for today's video, we are going to talk about travel terminology. I know probably some of you are so confused on what is OHP, what is LGU, what is iatf. So we are going to talk about those terminology today and what they are. Details coming right up. So I receive messages on a daily basis in our Facebook page and in the comment section of every videos that we upload in our channel. And sometimes when I am responding, I can't help not to use shortcuts sometimes or acronyms, just like LGU for example, OHP, or VAX. And I apologize to some of our travelers, some of our subscribers, if you guys get confused sometimes if I am using those terms. So today, on this video, we are going to talk about the different travel terminology when you are flying to the Philippines during the pandemic time. I have some lists, and if you guys can add more after this video, I would really appreciate it, because I have listed all this travel terminology as possible as I can, or as I can think of. But if you guys can add something to it that you thought that I have missed to add on the list, I would really appreciate it. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. So our first terminology is OHP. This is a very popular terminology actually when you are traveling to the Philippines. OHP actually stands for One Health Pass. So all travelers to the Philippines must register with One Health Pass. So if you guys heard of somebody that, hey, you need to register with OHP, because it's a lot easier to say OHP than One Health Pass. One Health Pass is just too long to say. So if you heard somebody, hey, we need to register with OHP, that is actually One Health Pass. Another term is the BOQ. So you probably heard me several times on this. BOQ verification during quarantine, BOQ quarantine rules and stuff like that. BOQ actually stands for the Bureau of Quarantine. This is a branch of the Department of Health that caters quarantine protocols and classifications to all travelers to the Philippines in different categories. So BOQ stands for Bureau of Quarantine. Another terminology that I actually get asked several times, especially when I am doing latest arrival protocols to the Philippines, is the itinerary. When I am listing the checklist of a particular category entering the Philippines, I would say itinerary. And they thought itinerary, as we all know, itinerary are the things you will do on this particular day. For example, if you are in a tour, what's our itinerary for today? That's actually not in the travel world. Itinerary is actually your ticket booking. So this is your ticket booking when you were purchasing your ticket online, and they will send you a copy of it when your booking is confirmed. That is your itinerary. So if you guys hear me saying itinerary so much, that is actually your ticket booking. Another term would be the BI. This is actually not the bad influence one, but the BI is the Bureau of Immigration. Some would say BOI, but usually it's just the BI. So BI stands for the Bureau of Immigration. This is actually the government agency that approves your visa, that issues you visa for visa extension, 13A, and whatnot. So BI is Bureau of Immigration, or BOI. Then the ehdc. This is, remember on One Health Pass, used to be before when they have you fill out the One Health Pass, they would say that make sure that you have also done the ehdc 24 hours before you fly. I don't think they are doing that now, but we will include this terminology on this video because it comes up from time to time. Just in case you guys can encounter this term, you will know what it is. So electronic health declaration form used to be a document given to you at the check-in counter, making sure you are fit to travel and stuff like that. Now they have done this electronically. It's actually part of One Health Pass. So ehdc is electronic health declaration form. Next is PAL. PAL. So PAL stands for Philippine Airlines. So probably you heard me say it several times. Probably you heard it from other viewers as well, saying PAL, because it's a lot easier to just say PAL than Philippine Airlines. You know, the shortcut terms and stuff. But there are others who gets confused on what are you talking about? What's this? What's that? So if you guys encounter somebody saying, hey, I'm flying with PAL, so that's actually Philippine Airlines. The other one is PH. So PH actually stands for the Philippines. So if in the US, we also have that term per state, like MS as Mississippi or KY as Kentucky, AK for Alaska. In the Philippines, it's PH. Another term, this has been brought up several times, is the VAX. VAXXED. So VAX stands for fully vaccinated. So if you hear me saying you have to be vaxxed, that's actually being fully vaccinated. And when you hear somebody say unvaxxed, it's very obvious that is unvaccinated. So sometimes these terms gets confusing. Sometimes this terminology gets overwhelming. That is why we are making this video, for you guys to make it understand more on the different travel terminology that the Philippine government sometimes use, or probably all the time that they use. Another one, the very famous terminology in the Philippines or in the travel update world, is the IATF. This is the agency of the government who is in charge of the pandemic. They actually make the rules. They actually implement the rules on what's going to be the requirements when you are entering the Philippines on a particular category. So they are actually the boss right now when it comes to travel restrictions to the Philippines. So whatever the IATF says, that will be followed. IATF stands for Interagency Task Force. So it's a lot easier to say IATF. This is a very popular travel term in the Philippines, and probably to all travelers to the Philippines, IATF. Another one is LGU. So LGU are local government unit. For example, LGU Jensan, LGU Cebu. So this particular term comes up a lot when it comes to final destination process. You guys probably hear me say you guys will have to check with your LGU on your final destination and what they require. And I apologize because I have received quite a bit of inquiry on that in both comment and our direct message in Facebook, like, Addie, what is LGU? So LGU stands for local government unit. So all cities in the Philippines has its own LGU, and each LGU has its own rules in every city. So LGU stands for local government unit. The other travel terminology is DOH. This is Department of Health. So I don't think I still need to explain what DOH is doing. So DOH and IATF are actually working together when it comes to doing travel restrictions to the Philippines. So DOH is Department of Health. Another one on the state side is the CDC. So this is the Center for Disease and Prevention. So I told my husband, why CDC and why not CDCP? Because there's the prevention word over it. But so CDC stands for Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So this is kind of like the IATF version in the States. So they also release announcement on what's going on, what's the update on COVID-19 cases and stuff, just like the iatf here in the Philippines. And our last terminology is NAIA. NAIA. So NAIA, you probably hear me guys say NAIA's Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3. This is actually the Ninoy Aquino International Airport where you guys land if you guys are landing in Manila. So when you guys hear me say NAIA, that is actually the Manila Airport. That's NAIA Terminal 1, Terminal 2, and Terminal 3. So, I hope with these travel terms, you guys are able to follow, especially when I am doing travel updates and I am using a lot of this travel terminology. Hopefully, you guys will now have an idea on what am I talking about on my travel updates. But I do apologize to those who could not understand what are these terms. That is why I made this video, because I use this a lot when I am doing travel updates to the Philippines. So this is our latest travel updates to the Philippines, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries with regards to this video or in any of our travel related videos, please comment it down below and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me in our Facebook page, same handle, the Eaton Squad. Again, guys, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you on our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.